Good evening. If we could have our candidates go ahead and come up to the stage, and then we'll go ahead and get started.
Oh, I'm sorry. No.
Trip you before you even get up there.
You let me mess it up.
Sorry, shut up.
Good evening. I'm Holly Lloyd, President of Claymont Education Association, CEA. Welcome to the Meet the Candidate Forum for the Claymont City School Board of Education. The Claymont Education Association, CEA, has collaborated to bring you this forum in which members of the community have the opportunity to learn more about the candidates. Following the certification of candidates by the Board of Elections, the CEA sent invitations and questionnaires to all 5 candidates. Each candidate was asked to complete a questionnaire and RSVP to the event. All of the candidates have been provided with the questions beforehand, and we would like to remind all participants and attendees that this forum is designed to provide an opportunity to learn more information regarding the interests and positions of all candidates for the Claymont City Schools Board of Education, so that voters can make an informed decision when voting for a school board candidate. The CEA will not make any endorsements for any candidates. Before we introduce our moderator and candidates, I would like to go over a few ground rules for the forum. Please place all phones on vibrate or silent. All candidates will be asked the same set of questions and will each have 90 seconds to respond. A candidate may ask for a question to be reread. The questions being asked tonight were developed by the CEA committee. A timekeeper located in the front row will notify the candidates and the moderator when they have 15 seconds remaining and when their time has expired. The order of responses will rotate with each question, ensuring that each candidate receives an opportunity to answer a question first. The candidates may not participate in crosstalk or interject during another candidate's response. We ask that the audience remain silent during the duration of the forum and to please hold all applause until the end. If an audience member is being disruptive, he or she will be asked by our moderator to remain silent, and if the disruption continues, we will ask said person to leave the forum. No candidate will be permitted to disrupt campaign or distribute campaign literature during the event. In addition to the pre-selected questions, we will be collecting question submissions from the audience and selecting a few of those questions to incorporate into the program. Audience members may pick up a question submission paper at the registration table and submit your question to the CEA representatives directing this event. You may choose to list your name or remain anonymous. Be sure to submit your questions by 7 p.m. for it to be considered. On behalf of CEA, thank you for attending this evening. We'd now like to introduce our moderator and the participating candidates. Our moderator for this evening is Chad Shoemaker. Chad is a former teacher for Claymont City School, is now co-owner of Our City Productions. Our candidates for Claymont City School Board are Greg Grant, Solomon Peters, Tina Armstrong, Michelle Sproul, and Miss Martha Campbell, who was unable to attend this evening due to prior commitments, and she sends her regrets that she had to miss this forum. Ms. Campbell's responses to the questionnaire will be read by the moderator. Thank you.
Good evening. Good to see everybody came out tonight. We appreciate that. I think it would be in good order to get started here today. If we could all stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. That would be fantastic. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you very much. As has been previously stated, we do have questions ready for the candidates. Again, you've all heard the rules and regulations here. I just want to add very quickly, I was a teacher here for 22 years at Claymont. And I want to make sure that everybody knows you have an incredible staff of teachers, administrators, custodians, cafeteria workers, aides, people in this district. It's always been my personal belief that the community, as far as your children's education is concerned, should be thought of as a family. And that means that we're all in this together to further the education of your children, to give your children someplace safe to learn and to be. Please keep that in mind at all times. We're going to go ahead and get started here with the questions. Mr. Grant, starting with you, and again, all of us will have the same questions. Okay? Why did you become a candidate for the Claymont Board of Education? What qualifications or unique considerations make you an especially good school board candidate? And please include your current involvement in the community.
Well, first of all, I want to welcome everybody out here this evening on this beautiful rainy evening. We've been blessed with some beautiful fall weather until this evening, so thank you for braving the weather. Once again, I'm Greg Grant. I chose to become a candidate because I have lived in this community my entire life. I am a 1986 graduate of Claymont Schools, along with my wife. My two children have both graduated from Claymont. My daughter, being the latter, just graduated this spring. My son was in 2014 graduate of Claymont. I have a passion for education. This is my many year in education. 19 of those years were here at Claymont, where I was a teacher in this building. What makes me qualified? I believe my dedication to the community. I have served on many boards throughout the years. Currently, I'm also the president of Claymont JC Housing. I've also been a member of the Claymont Community Center Board many years ago. And so I just want to thank you all for this evening and hope that you have a great time.
Thank you, Mr. Grant. Mr. Peters? Do you need the question repeated, sir?
Sure.
Okay. Why did you become a candidate for the Claymont Board of Education, and what qualifications or unique considerations make you an especially good school board candidate? And please make sure you include your current involvement in the community.
Okay, yeah. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for everyone for coming out. This is a great event the CEA puts on every time elections come around. My name is Solomon Peters. I'm a 2017 graduate of Claymont High School. My sisters, my brothers, my family, we've all come from this area. I'm running for the school board just out of pure love for this community and this school district. I've spent the last 6 years, since I graduated basically, dedicating my spare time to our youth programs, youth football, youth wrestling, and recently girls wrestling. So I'm heavily involved in this community. I was raised by people at all levels of the school district, from principal to custodian, teachers, social workers. All these people have had a lot of effect on my upbringing. So I know what it takes to put a school district together, and I value each and every role in the school district. Yeah, so I just But once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out, and that's why I'm running for school board.
Thank you. Ms. Armstrong? Did you need the question repeated? Or are you good? Yes? Okay. Why have you become a candidate for the Claymont Board of Education? What qualifications or unique considerations make you an especially good school board candidate? And please include your current involvement in the community.
Hi, I'm Tina Armstrong. I'd like to thank the Claymont Board of Education and the Teachers Union for having us here tonight, everybody coming out. So I am running for school board because I've got two sons in the district and I'm always involved in things that they're involved in. I want to see this community thrive again. I want to see Claymont School be that 922 powerhouse that it once was. And I've seen a little bit of how we can build that back, especially sitting on the board, that special committee that we had with the school board this summer, and I think we're on the right track with what we've started there. And some things I'm involved in with the community. I am in charge of the Tuscaloosa County Market Livestock Sales. I've been doing that for 15 years. We're over $1.4 million. I'm a retired insurance agent and business owner in Philly, so I bring that aspect to it as well. I've got my husband who has been a part of Claymont, and all the Armstrongs have as well. So there's a tight-knit background, and I've lived here longer now than I haven't. So I feel like I'm that 922 now, and so I want to have that sense of pride. I want the community to have that sense of pride, and our students to be our number one focus, because if they're thriving, the community is going to thrive.
Thank you. Ms. Swell? Question repeated, or are you good to go? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming out. Thank you, CEA, for putting this on. And I'm running for school board. I was on the school board prior for no personal gain, vendettas. I'm just, bottom line is I care about this community, the students, the people in it, and I want to serve and give back. I was born and raised in this community. I'm a third generation. My grandparents, my parents, my husband and I, my children will be graduates of Claymont. My husband and I have been devoted to this community for a really long time. Before we had kids involved in things or even had kids, we've volunteered, donated, and supported youth groups, junior miss softball. My sister-in-laws and I, we have ran a 4-H group for over 10 years with kids that are in this community, raising them up to have good character, work ethic, just to make a difference in the community and bring back to it. Even the 4-H motto is to make the best better, and I think that can apply to our district and the people in it as well. I've been part of the Mustang Pride Committee that was developed by Mrs. Watkins and Mr. Watkins, which has thrived. And more recently, I was on the strategic planning community for our district. I was invited by a board member, so that's why I'm serving. Thank you.
All right, I'll take this opportunity to read Ms. Martha Campbell's response. And please let it be known, too, that I am also being timed, fair time, to represent Martha. I want to be involved with the decisions that make the best learning environment for our students, that enable them to prepare for a successful future. I served on the Claymont School Board for 10 years and have continued to be part of the school community through the Booster Club, Bylaws Committee, volunteering, and serving on the committee for the Claymont Stadium project, as well as other volunteering throughout the years. I'm also a member of the Claymont Foundation Board of Trustees. In my current position as the office manager of the Tuscarawas County Engineers Office, I assist the engineer in balancing the budget for our department. I am currently involved with this Clayland Scholarship Program, Polar Express train ride, Ohio State University Alumni Club of Tuscarawas County, the Tuscarawas County Democratic Party, Lucille Newsdorfer Woman of the Year Committee, Second and Seventh Foundation, Third and Gold Foundation, Joshua Perry Family Foundation, Buckeye Cruise for Cancer, as well as a tour guide and volunteer at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Question number 2. Candidates, What do you believe is the number one issue facing our school district today? What would be your role in addressing the issue? Mr. Peters.
So, in my opinion, the number one issue facing our district today is a lack of trust. Whether it's between our staff and our administration, or it's between our parents and our district. I've talked to multiple teachers across the district, and the general consensus is they can't trust the people they're working for, and it's a shame. I believe that we should be as transparent as possible with our staff, with our community, just make for a better work relationship. And our parents that can't trust the district as a whole. I've got people coming up to me at football games saying that, my kid's in 3rd grade and they go to St. Mary's. They go to Immaculate Conception because they can't trust that the school district is going to do the right thing with their children. And I think that's just terrible. I think that we need to be transparent with everybody from the top to the bottom. We should hear all problems and be honest with them, whether we agree with them or not. I believe an honest conversation is going to go a long way as far as resolving some of these issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Armstrong.
So I think the main problem that we're facing right now is just a lack of pride. Finland used to be a 922 powerhouse, like I said, and have that attitude. There was a stigma around that we were the best of the best, and we need to get back to that and show the students at Claymont that Twin Cities are a destination, not a launching pad. We want them to stay here and build up the community. So part of that is getting the community involved with each other, especially the school and the students and the district and the teaching, the faculty, and playing a huge part in that. Part of that is getting some better coaches to attract our players to stay here as well, and building that big football team we once had, that wrestling program we once had. So part of it is just everybody working together, focusing on the students, because the students need to be our main focus at all times.
Thank you. Ms. Armstrong. Oh, Sproul, I'm sorry. Apologies.
That's okay. All right, what I feel is our number one issue facing our district is economic stability. This is an ongoing issue and it's not going to be fixed overnight, but I'm willing to help our leaders. We can work together to make wise decisions that will not affect the reason we should all be here, and that's to provide the best education and opportunities for our students.
I will read Ms. Campbell's response. Ready?
Mr. Grant.
Oh, I thought we were going to go in order as in,
Yes.
okay. My bad. Sorry,
My bad.
want me to go ahead?
You don't have to, I'm sorry.
Thank you. One of the most important issues facing the school district is the communication to and from the community regarding policies, activities, and the general information pertaining to the school. I believe it would be in the interest of everyone that we are making sure that the same message is being conveyed to everyone inside and outside the district regarding issues with the school. I would be willing to work with a group of employees, administrators, as well as community members to find the best ways to make sure these communications are properly distributed in the community through a district newsletter in electronic format, the school's social media, and other ways that the committee or group deems necessary. Unfortunately, people hear something from someone in the community and take to social media to discuss it without finding the facts behind the story or verifying the story. And we need to encourage people to find the facts first. Mr. Grant.
I think our biggest issue in the Claymont City Schools is our students who are leaving our school district from the beginning. It breaks my heart to see signs in our community where a kindergartner is attending another school district that is not Claymont but lives in our district. So first of all, we've got to encourage our families to want to keep their children here. That's in the beginning. Preschool, daycare, getting those kids in our school district and then keeping them here is our number one problem. Now, let's move on to middle school and high school. We've got lots of programs that our kids can attend. We're doing amazing things, but we need to change those. We need to add. We need more vocational school. We need more of those types of programs brought into Claymont so that those kids that we have here are not leaving our school district. Buckeye is a wonderful place, but we can offer some of those things also. We keep our kids here. We build Claymont from the beginning all the way up through our high school. So it's a 15 seconds. It makes me a little nervous. It's a systemic problem, but I believe if we start with our kindergarten, our preschool, our daycare, and work our way up, we can solve that problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Question 3. If you received a complaint regarding an employee of the district, what specific actions would you take? Ms. Armstrong.
So while each complaint is a valid complaint, it needs to be investigated with a level head, facts, and the truth. You have to value the person's feelings, but leave them out, and their opinion. So, you just have to. You cannot just go off an opinion, go off a feeling. And while they're valid ideas and feelings, they just can't be part of the equation. You have to have the facts and make your decisions solely on that. But as part of the school board, you would leave the actual action up to the specific department head, because we're not here to make those reprimands either.
Thank you. Ms. Sproul.
If I were to receive a complaint, I would listen to the complaint and follow the chain of command. We all know this is what we should do and what we say we do, but our community loves to highlight the negative instead of the positive. If everyone went to social media outlets with something positive as much as they did negative, we would have our pride back in our community. So again, I receive a complaint, they're all valid. I listen to every concern as I did before, and I would follow the chain of command, just like you do in any organization.
Thank you. The response from Ms. Campbell. Since the role of the school board members is to set policy and hire the superintendent and treasurer, their role is not to get involved in the daily issues of the school. I would gather the information from that person, then reach out to the superintendent to look into the situation. As a school board member, I would not have the authority to approach the staff member the person was complaining about. I would expect the superintendent to find and resolve the problem, reporting back to me when it is resolved or if there is need for the school board to also be involved with the resolution. Mr. Grant.
First of all, you're going to listen to the complaint or the person. Absolutely. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has feelings. So you need to validate those. Absolutely. I'm going to listen, take in that information. From there, I'm going to take that and give that to the person in charge of whatever that situation may be, whether it be classroom teacher, the principal, and or the superintendent. As said, the school board's job is to make policy and to make sure that the school board is running. There are people in place that do solve those problems. I think the big thing that we're missing here is then that follow-up. So that complaint has been given to me. I've passed that on, of course, through the chain of command. Then a follow-up. I want to know from that person what did happen, what was that resolution. They're taking care of it, But for myself, I want to make sure that there is some type of a resolution to that person's problem.
Thank you. Question number 4. Or did you go? That's all. I beg your pardon. Please do.
Okay, so first of all, I would absolutely hear and listen to any complaint or grievance or whatever, because I'm elected by, school board members are elected by the people, so we're here to represent the people. So like I said, I would listen to any and all grievances about anyone in the school district. And second of all, I'd encourage that the complainer, I don't want to call him a complainer, it's not right. The person filing the complaint, I'd encourage them to have a conversation with the person they're complaining about. You know, like I said, communication has gone downhill, and I think a lot of issues can be resolved with simple communication. If you reach out to that person and have a conversation about what you think they did wrong, or you know, maybe it's not what you think. I think if you attack it that way, that will resolve a lot of issues. But if you have attacked it that way and you follow the proper chain of command, as far as, you know, say if the teacher, you get teacher, principal, and so on. If the proper chain of command has been followed, I would then take it to the superintendent, address the issue with them, and then later on I'd follow up to make sure that some kind of action has been taken to do further investigation and get to the bottom of it so that we can make as many people happy as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, now question number 4. What would you do to improve staff morale and community morale? Ms. Brown.
So morale is such a small word, but it carries a lot of weight in my mind. The definition of morale is the mental and emotional condition as of enthusiasm, confidence, or loyalty of an individual or group with regards to the function or task at hand. So to answer that question, as an individual, I'm going to be that person I always am and always have been, honest, loyal, enthusiastic, that Claymont is a good district, that it has good people, good leaders, good staff, and great students. If I was voted on this board as a group of more members, I'm going to be myself once again, enthusiastic, supportive, a listener, a researcher, and do the best I can to see that we succeed. This is a concept I've continually heard over and over. Morale is huge, but it also starts and goes back to the definition that directs it to an individual or group. So as an individual, are you part of the problem or part of the solution? If you go through life or work every day, hating your job or your life, complaining about it, it's going to feed into your coworkers and the people around you. I'm not saying that life is perfect every day, but you have to step back and recognize the part you're playing in the morale problem. To make the point, it's a daily struggle. It starts with the individual or group. You need to ask if you're part of the problem or solution, so each individual can do their part. Personally, for morale, it's up. Darn it. Okay, fine.
That's all right.
You want the rest of my answer?
The response from Ms. Campbell. I think that each person in the school district and community should play a role in the improvement of the morale of the district. I don't want to burden everyone with meetings, but I believe there is a proper way for the concerns of lowering morale to be handled by a group of people representing each group and finding ways to resolve the issues at hand. Okay, great.
For me, morale starts at the top. The top meaning we need people in leadership that are visionaries. And to me, that comes from our board, our school board, our superintendent, our admin. Those are the people who are setting that visionary goal. They're looking out for the next 3, 5, 10 years. What does that look like? And they set that course using all of those stakeholders, the community, our parents, our children, our teachers. Everyone in the school district is buying into what is that vision for our school district, as I said, the next 3, 5, 10 years. And I believe when you get all of those aligned, then your morale and your student performance and your teacher performance and those things will greatly increase because everybody's focused on one place. They have some place to look forward to. And for me, that is something that I think we need to work on and where I believe we can increase the morale of not only Claymont kids, but our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Tom?
Okay, yeah, so I, as well as Mr. Grant, I believe it all starts at the top. We have great employees in the school district, you know, teachers, custodians, cooks, bus drivers. From top to bottom, we're filled with great people in these roles. And I think it's important to show them appreciation and to let them know that we appreciate the time and the effort and the energy that they're putting into our students. I think if we treat all of our employees with respect and trust and appreciation, it's going to go a long way as far as boosting morale within the staff. I think we should encourage new ideas. I've heard that people propose new ideas and they just fall on deaf ears because people don't want to put in extra work or investigate and see what's going to take to make these ideas and programs happen. And I just think it's our morale's down. Teachers have expressed to me that our leadership has made them feel disposable, and that's unacceptable. Our teachers get up every day. Everyone in our district gets up every day and goes to work for our kids, and for us to pretend that we can just find a replacement, especially considering we can't even find subs. So we pretend that we can just get rid of them and find someone new if they don't do as they're expected. I think it's crazy. And then the community morale, I believe, it's just got to be making the community confident that they've got the right people in the right places to do what's best for their kids and our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Dan?
So we need to work together as a team, the admin, staff, community, get everyone working together with our students. Have career days, sponsors. They can sponsor an athlete. Community volunteers, students getting back in the community. Having business owners come to the school and show our kids what is possible in this community, that you can stay here and boost their morale. But it starts with you. You are a reflection of what morale you want representative. And it starts at home. You want your kids to have the best of the best. And how do you do that? You encourage them. You praise them. All the students deserve that. And we can do that together when we work as one team.
Thank you. All right. Question number 5. Do you believe school leaders, that is to say building principals, should have the autonomy to run their own building? And are we reading for the Campbell? I believe that the principals should have authority in their building to lead their staff and to carry out the daily duties of their building. However, each of those principals also have a responsibility to report to the superintendent and need to meet the needs and rules of the entire district. The principals and the superintendent need to work together to create the best educational environment for all students in the district. Every person employed for the district while fulfilling their job duties is working to build a better Claymont community for all of our students.
I'm going to reference back to the last question. I believe that absolutely principals, admin staff, teaching, all of those should have the autonomy to run that building. But it is all, once again, under that leadership and under that guiding principle of what is our goal, what is our vision for the next 3, 5, 10 years. So leading towards that and working towards that fits into that goal. So should they have that ability? Am I answering the right question? Am I right? I should have had to repeat it. Am I?
Well, yeah.
Okay, I'm just getting close to like.
You're good.
So anyway, yes, I believe that they should have that ability to run their homes under the vision and the premise of what is working for Claremont and what is the goal for Claremont. Thank you.
Thank you. Saul.
So the short answer is yes, I do believe we should be able to run their own buildings, because when we hire them as a principal, we assume that they are capable of being leaders and running that building. And I think we should trust them. If we trust them to hire them, we should trust them to do what we expect them to do until they don't. If the morale in that building starts going down, or we start getting complaints, or they just aren't meeting the expectations placed upon them upon their hiring, I think it should be addressed. I think it should be ball in their court until reason is taken away.
Tina.
So yes, I believe they should. You can't run a preschool the same way you run a middle school. Each level needs to have some give and take in the decisions to address different building needs. And I do believe, just like Saul, that we have the leaders in place and that are educated and able to make clear, concise decisions. So yes, each principal at each building should be able to make those decisions within reason.
Michelle.
We both agree on this. My answer is yes, with the stipulations and the oversight that leaders are meeting the standards set forth by Ohio schools, that they align with our district vision and goals, and hold staff conduct upright, and support morale of the district.
Thank you. Question number 6. What is your vision of education in the community, and how does it support the economy and quality of life in the community? Greg.
My vision of education in our nation, is that we are here to give our kids what is necessary to become successful. Whether that be learning to be a lineman, learning to drive a truck, learning to weld, going to college, moving forward, higher education. That's my goal, that's my vision. I want us to do a much better job of meeting our kids at where they're at. Seeing what are their interests. Are they more interested in pursuing college? Are they more interested in pursuing the trades? Giving them that opportunity and making them hold that. That's their dream, giving them the ability to meet their dream. How does that affect our community? It affects our community in many ways. We get to keep some of those kids that might be leaving our community. We bring those kids back that do have some of those college degrees that could be in our community. We know that it takes all of those people to make a strong community. So, in my opinion, what I would like to see is in 10 years, we have kids coming back to this community, buying homes, raising children, and making Claremont a great place to live. Thank you.
Thank you. Saul.
So my vision for our school district is to be a district that provides the knowledge of all different career pathways for our students. I think that college and a 4-year degree is a great and very beneficial means of higher education, but it's definitely not the only means. And I think that schools across the nation have done a lackluster job of promoting these kind of things. And you can see it in the demand for workers that want to come out and do their training and become skilled tradesmen and many other avenues that are just starving for workers. I think that we need to do a better job of promoting these pathways and like Mr. Grant said, knowing where our students are at. Some kids will not thrive in college, and they need to be made aware of that. And they need to be exposed to different opportunities that could suit them better. Hopefully, with the school's recent hire of a career navigator, we can accomplish that and become better at steering these kids in the correct direction, or a more beneficial direction for them and their futures and their future families.
Thank you.
So we need to offer pathways for each student. Each student learns differently, and not all are going to go to college. So whether it be college or entering the workforce, a trade, special needs, honors classes, whatever the case may be, we need to navigate them in the right direction with the opportunities that we have and build on that. There's a lot of opportunities we have in the district that even myself, before I sat on the special committee, didn't know we had. So we need to educate the parents and the community and get everybody in a pathway that is going to be most beneficial to them. And that can be part of community involvement with internship, career days, shadowing on the job, etc. So there's a lot of different opportunities that we can point our kids in the right direction that is going to prosper for them and get them to where they want to be, raising their family, staying in the community, and building a successful business here, possibly. So we want them to stay here, and the best way to do that is to get them on the correct pathway for their learning and for what they want to do with their lives.
Thank you. Michelle.
The vision of education in this community would just be to help each student meet their greatest potential. So this was brought up in the strategic planning committee, and actually Mr. Johns, who's here tonight, brought it up. We have a lack of resources as jobs in our community. Really our biggest employers are Embers, our school district, Novellas. So to get people here and to keep people here, we've had people move in from, the pipelines, but that's till it's over and then they're gone type of thing. So just maybe thinking about business opportunities. Like I said, I don't know what that looks like. Mr. Johns brought that point up, and I just had never really thought about that. So, but honestly, just supporting our students to achieve their dreams. What a bonus to have them come back here. We have passed on, some good educators, and that's a little bit disheartening that wanted to move back in our community and work here. So hopefully just helping them improve their quality of life and just putting in hard work, surrounding yourself with good people, good staff, and helping them achieve what they want for their goals.
Thank you. Response from Martha Campbell. My vision is to create the best educational environment for our students. Our district is made up of families with various income, various education, and various ages. That is who we are. We need to work together with the understanding that we need to provide the best education we can with the resources and people we have. As a family learns to live within their income, making the best decisions for their family, we need to learn to live within our economic and resources, and while making the best decisions for and providing a positive outlook for the future of our students. That takes care of the preset questions. We will now be doing the questions that were filled out when you first came in. Just a quick note, I would like to remind that we did ask that cell phones be silenced at the beginning of the program, and we heard multiple dings, so please silence those phones. All right. First community question. What do you think is the root cause of the low staff and community morale? And I believe we left off with, I think Saul. I think you're... No, it's Saul. That's you, young man. Step up there.
So I believe the number one cause of our lack of morale, I think it goes back to the number one issue facing this district, which is the lack of trust. If I believe that if our staff believe they can trust people they're working for, and if our community believe they can trust the school district to do what's best with their children, then I think the morale would rise naturally. I just think that, once again, being transparent, people knowing what you think at all times is going to help boost morale. Whether they agree with it or not, they're going to know what you think, and they're going to know that you're not giving them the wrong route.
question? Yes, I will. What do you think is the root cause of low staff and community morale?
Part of it is lack of communication. We have open lines of communication all across, from superintendent to school board to faculty to students and parents. So that open line of communication just shows that you care, that you're honest, that you want the best. And without that, those things can't be conveyed. As far as morale goes, again, it starts with you. Your feelings are catching. If you're a heavy downer, it's going to be that way. So don't act that way. Have a positive vibe, because you breathe what you speak. And if it's positive, the community is going to catch on to that, and they're going to have that same pride and sense of feeling.
Thank you. Michelle.
Just say ditto, because that's basically what I was saying. Yeah, again, morale starts with the individual. What you give out is what you're going to get, and you surround yourself with is how you're going to feel. And communication is huge. Morale's down everywhere. I mean, we've had 90,000 countrywide nurses leave the nursing field. I know that doesn't apply here, but COVID, and it hurt our education, it hurt everything. So life, change is constant in life. That's the only thing that's constant. Change is hard, but morale, you have to start with yourself. And if you're not gonna try to make the next day better or something, or try to make your surroundings better, then it's never gonna improve. And unfortunately, in this day and age, home life for kids, they come to school to have that boost, because life isn't what it was 10 years ago. Teaching isn't what it was 10 years ago. Nursing isn't what it was when I started 17 years ago. So change is constant, it's hard, and you just have to do your part to improve it.
Thank you. Greg.
I'm going to go back to my original, which is vision and mission, and building that. And for me, I believe morale with the staff, with the students, and the community, once again, I believe starts at the top and works its way down. I believe a district that has a strong vision and a purpose then guides that. But also, it's important that you have to build a relationship. So you have that vision and you have that mission, and people are buying into that, and it's steadfast, it's solid, it's not wavering. That's set by the administration. Then it trickles down. There's going to be disagreements, and not everybody is going to love that. But if that's what we do, and what a district we do is always, always best for our kids in all of the decisions that we make, I believe that we will improve morale. It's not going to be overnight, people. You're looking, I'm going to be totally honest, you're looking at least 5 years to 10 years before you completely change the face of any organization. And I believe that that's in the long run. But you have to be steadfast, and you have to be willing to keep that vision and that mission through whatever administration you have, whatever teaching staff you have, whatever community you have. And I believe in 10 years, you will see the fruits of those labors. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question. In a given situation, do you plan to vote according to the negotiated agreement or what you believe to be the right choice? Team. And I can repeat that if you'd like. One more time, absolutely. In a given situation, do you plan to vote according to the negotiated agreement or what you believe to be the right choice?
So if there's already a negotiated agreement, that's how things should be voted on. Because like one of the previous questions, you have to leave your feelings out of it and go with the facts and not opinions. While your opinions may be valid, you still have to abide by what is set forth as the precedent.
Thank you. Michelle? Repeat. In a given situation, do you plan to vote according to the negotiated agreement or what you believe to be the right choice?
Okay. Negotiated agreement like between unions or like any thing brought to the superintendent for the board to vote on?
I'm assuming that this is anything brought before the board.
Okay, so with any decision like I did before, I do my research. I see if it fits with our vision, our economic status, all of that, and I will make my decision based on that.
Thank you. Great.
Well, now you just changed it completely. Because that's two different goals. If it is a negotiated agreement, that is what has been agreed upon between administration and a union. So whatever that contract says, absolutely. It is law and binding, at least for the duration of that contract. So yes, I'm going to vote according to that contract because we as a board and they as a union have agreed to those terms and conditions. If that's something that needs to be changed, we renegotiate. Now, second part of that, your interpretation, completely different. If it is just policy, if it is just things that are being brought to the board, then once again, I'm going to agree with Michelle, absolutely. We're going to do our research. We're going to look at what, number one, what's best for our kiddos? What's the best decision? And then vote from there. And talking to my constituents, I want to know what their input is. Talking to them, if we're spending money, if we're putting on new programs, if we're building new buildings, or whatever that might look like. I want to know what our community people have to say about those situations. So, twofold question, two completely different answers.
Understood. Saul?
So yeah, if there's a situation where something conflicts with the contract, I'm going to vote on the side of the contract every time. That contract was agreed upon between the Board of Education, superintendent, and the staff, whoever's on the other side of the contract. So I always vote on that, and if something needs to be changed on that, it's just going to be something that needs to be addressed come the next time they negotiate. But on the other hand, if it's a policy decision, I'll always gather my own information, take opinions, and then from that I'll decide what I think is best, and I'll vote accordingly. I'm not afraid of either 1 and a 4-to-1 vote, or one of the 2 and a 3-to-2 vote. I'm not afraid to vote against the grain. That's not a problem for me. I'm going to vote the way I believe is best in that situation. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question. Do you believe your sole role as a board member is to hire / evaluate the superintendent / treasurer and be the policy-making body, or do you believe it goes much deeper than that? And if yes, how? Michelle? And I can repeat that. Got it?
OSBA, that's the definition of a board. You develop policy, you are responsible for hiring and evaluating both the superintendent and the treasurer. You hire them to do a job, and you oversee that job, and you evaluate them, but that is the sole role of the Board of Education.
Thank you. All right.
Would you please repeat that question?
Yes, sir. Do you believe your sole role as a board member is to hire / evaluate the superintendent and treasurer and be the policy-making body? Or do you believe it goes much deeper than that? And if yes, how?
Absolutely, it goes deeper. Yes, the initial is you are hiring a superintendent and a treasurer, making policy, making sure that the lights are on, that the food is here, and the kids are taken care of. But it goes much, much deeper. It's going into that community. It's being a part of that community, taking families, students, input, and making policy that then changes and shapes those students' lives. So it goes much, much deeper. If it's just to make sure that we have a superintendent and a treasurer who are paying the bills, that can be done very, very quickly, and you don't need a 5-people board. But you need a 5-people board because they were designed and set up to be the spokesperson of your community. What does our community need? Now, you've got 5 people that their job is to say and do what they can do to make sure that those things happen to our community and for our kids. So, yes, it is a little bit of both.
Thank you. Solomon?
So yes, by dictionary definition, our job is to hire and evaluate superintendent, treasurer, and to make policy. But I do believe it goes a little bit deeper where you have to accommodate and take into account the opinion of the people who elected you. When you go around the community, you get their opinions on things, you see their side of the story, and you make your decision, whether it's policy or hiring and evaluating. I believe it's definitely important to consider the people in the community and people within the school district when doing their job.
Thank you. Yeah.
So yes, I think it's both. It does go much deeper than that. We need to take into consideration the concerns of the teachers teaching our students. The students should be the focal point, and whatever is best as far as that goes for our students to get the best education possible. Whether it's gathering some more information, changing policy in regards to what is best for our students and how they learn, and how the teachers can put that best into effect.
Thank you. Next question. All of you have said that Claymont is the best school. What makes you say this? And if it is the best, why run for a well-functional school board and make changes? Greg.
I'll start by quoting a famous book. Good is the enemy of great. So we are good. That doesn't mean that we can't be better. And we want to look at each of our kids. We want to look at our community. And we want to be a great community. Not just good, we want to be great. So, absolutely, that takes people, that takes visionary, that takes time. You got to roll up your sleeves. It's going to get dirty. It's going to get ugly. But if you build that, you can completely take a good school district and make them a great school district. I want people to come to Claymont and look at what we're doing and be modeling that for the rest of the state of Ohio, for the rest of the nation. I want them to look at our program and say, wow, you're 10 years out. You're thinking about things that we haven't thought about in the last 30 years. That's the Claymont that I want. Thank you.
Thank you. Solomon.
So I do believe that Claymont is a great school district, and I believe that it comes back to our staff. I believe that we have some of the best staff in the county. I went to school here within the last 10 years, and there's so many teachers that I credit any success I've had too. We've got the people in place to do what's needed to be done. We just need to mend the relationship between them and the rest of the administration of the school district, and allow them to just focus on teaching. That's my thing. If they got to look over their shoulder and worry about who's looking for something to be mad about or looking for something to punish somebody for, they can't focus on teaching, and it hurts the kids in turn. So I believe mending that relationship is going to make us an elite school district. I believe we're already a great school district, but I believe that mending that relationship and allowing our teachers to focus on the task at hand, which is educating our students, is the pathway to becoming an elite school district.
Thank you. Tina.
Repeat the question one more time.
Yes. All of you said that Claymont is the best school. What makes you say this? And if it is the best, why run for a well-functioning school board and make changes?
So Claymont, I do believe, is the best, and that's coming from an outsider, because I didn't go to Claymont, but my husband did, my children do. And I do believe it is great, but once you stop working on something, it doesn't stay that way. So it's a continual process. You have to keep continually working on how to be great, how to improve things. And that's what our kids need, somebody that is going to look to the future and build those relationships with faculty, administration, the community, so that we can continue to be great and better.
Thank you. Michelle.
So I'm going to go back to the 4-H motto to make the best better. So we are one of the best. I went through here, I wouldn't raise my kids anywhere else. The staff that my kids have had have been phenomenal. And it's not just that. I mean, teachers are here that when I was in school 20-some years ago, that made such an impact in my life. And it's so neat to be able to interact with them in the later stages of my life. So I feel like Claymont is one of the best. When I want us to be, we go to a resort, it's an all-inclusive. We've got great educators, we've got great staff, we've got better facilities now. So you don't go to all-inclusive just for the food, you go for everything. So that's what I want Claymont to be. Everything, get the pride back, and make the best, what's already the best, better.
Thank you. Next question. How and will you help the sports programs at Claymont? The school system used to be looked up to, and it is no longer. How do we change that? Saul.
Well, as a board member, it's always not to hire and fire coaches and stuff. That's the superintendent's job and the athletic director's job to find those people and give us a recommendation. We just simply vote to approve or deny that recommendation. But like I said, I will always hear the community, and I'm an open book. I'll hear any ideas. I'm not an expert in athletics or anything like that. I believe that everyone has something to offer me, so I'll listen to anything, and I'll take that into consideration when I do vote to approve or deny the superintendent's recommendation for our sports program. I believe that opening doors and presenting new opportunities is a good thing too. I don't believe that any new thing is a bad thing. I believe that anything that can give another student an opportunity to find something they like and find a group they fit in and something to express themselves is a good thing. And I don't believe that we should do anything to stand in the way of that.
Thank you. Tia.
So we already have a great facility that our students can utilize, and we need to build on that. And whether that's taking some recommendations and getting the qualified applicants that are necessary to our superintendent, that's the first step. So some of these individuals can be well-seasoned or brand new, have new ideas, and some of those things need to come back to the community so that way our sports programs flourish and they thrive and they grow. And you can't do that when things are stagnant. So some fresh ideas and some new people coming in would be a great asset for our sports programs.
Thank you. Michelle.
So this is a revolving subject. When I was on the board last time, I'm going to tell you that people aren't beating down the door to come coach at Claymont. I'm just going to be 100% honest. It's going to take people in the community to step up. It's going to take people who know somebody. I had people talk to me before that said, oh, such and such applied. Really? Because there wasn't. They didn't. They might have told somebody that they were going to apply, but they never actually submitted an application. You can't hire somebody that doesn't actually apply. I'm going to take parents' concerns. I'm a parent. I'm going to listen. But again, you have to have stability in coaching. You can't just have somebody for a year and then run them off. just because my kid didn't get enough playing time. So that's where I'm at. I'm completely honest. I'm an open book, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle. People are knocking down the door to come coach here. If anybody wants or knows, have them come apply, whatever. But it's not something that people are running to Claremont to coach. And if they do apply and put it in writing, then maybe people will actually hire you. I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you. Greg.
I'm going to open up that question and add to that all of our extracurricular, not just our sporting. I want to see kids in all of our extracurricular, in our band, in our choir, in our music, in our sports, in our drama. I want to see kids in all of those things. How does that happen? It has to be a priority of a school district. If it's not a priority of the school district, it's not going to happen. We're not going to have coaches that are going to come here and want to coach when whatever that sport is not a priority, or whatever that band or choir has to become a priority. What do I mean by priority? I mean that becomes a scheduling priority. That becomes a financial priority. That becomes something that the school district and the community is willing to put their time and energy into. I'll give you a small story. My son, who is now, will be 28 years old, I know it's hard to believe, I'm 25, how can that be? There was a young gentleman that taught here, and after school, he did a movie program. He would have the kids watch and then critique movies. My son to this day is the biggest movie buff in the world because I believe he learned that, and that was fostered by a program. It wasn't sports, he was also involved in sports. But that is something that he has loved, and I believe that you make it a priority, you put the money in it, and you can.
Sorry. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next, do you believe in promoting one of our own, meaning a person from the area, if qualified, versus hiring outside of the districts? Yes or no? And why? Tina.
So that can go both ways, depending on the tenure of the professional and how things have gone in the past. Absolutely, as long as they have good standing here in Claremont and the qualifications are met, absolutely promote within. Companies do it all the time. But there's something to be said for having fresh eyes and something new going forward. So when there's someone that is absolutely qualified coming in from outside the district, that can be an improvement as well, because you're going to have new ideas and a new vision and some new ideas that you haven't thought of before that can benefit the community and the school and our children.
Thank you. Michelle.
I agree. Fresh eyes can be great. Also, promotion within can be great. It's just who's ever best for that position, who holds the goals and the vision of the district, who has ideas, for morale, boosting, and all that. So it can be somebody outside with fresh eyes, fresh ideas. It can be somebody within that has worked their way up, and whoever's best for the position and has the best vision for the students and the staff and the building that they are going to supervise.
Thank you. Greg.
Looking at candidates for a position, all things being equal. We're looking at them, papers look good, everything, but I have a Claremont grad and I have another school district grad. Claremont grads get the job. It's a no-brainer. Everything being equal. Now, sometimes we don't have those, but if we grow them and we build them, we will have those people who will be taking those positions in the next 3, 5, and 10 years. So that's my vision, is to see us do a much better job of promoting our teachers, our staff to take those leadership roles. And all things being equal, it's going to be a Claymont person. Thank you.
Saul.
So I agree with Mr. Grant. You know, as far as if all the qualifications are tied, you know, the tiebreaker is a Claymont grad, absolutely. But if we got someone in the district who's been here for a long time and we put money into their education and made them and trained them to be the way we want for our district, I don't believe that someone should come in and take their position just because they're a Claymont grad. Now, if there's an open position, absolutely. Let's find a place for them. Let's fill this place with as many Claymont people as possible and let them build their way up to what we want them to be and how we want them to teach our students or to be involved with our students. But as far as qualifications go, if the qualifications are equal, absolutely, that's the tiebreaker for me. If that's a Claymont person, they're coming in. You know, snooze you lose. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that someone's more qualified just because they're from Claymont. That's not the case. And I think you have to be professional about it. You have to look at it through that lens and find the best person for each position.
Thank you. Give me 1 second. Final question of the evening. I have to make a decision here, so hold on 1 second. Okay, we'll go with this. What is a board member's most important role? With that said, have you ever done a budget? How will you add value? Interesting. We're going to start that one with Michelle. Let's do that again. Let's take it to this. What is a board member's most important role? That's kind of a twofold question.
A board member's most important role, I would say, is to, by textbook, I think we kind of answered this already, is to evaluate the superintendent and the treasurer, but also you're elected by the people, so you need to take community input and be that sounding board for people, you know, for concerns or complaints or whatever. Do your research and don't just take people's opinions, make your own decisions and go with what you can rest your head with at the end of the night on the decisions that you make. Am I answering another part?
I think that sounds fantastic. I've never been this happy. That's okay. Great. Same question. What is a board member's most important role?
Most important role, again, is holding that vision and mission for our district, building that relationship, working with our community, knowing the needs of our community, and relaying that to the programming, staffing, and everything we do here at Claymont. So my most important, to me, if I am elected, my most important job is to take that information, listen to the community, bring that back, work with the rest of the board, and our superintendent, and our treasurer, and make sure that that becomes a reality. Thank you.
Thank you. Saul?
So I believe the most important role of a board member is to just think independently. You know, be yourself. Think. Don't. You know, you can have friends on the board, but don't take their word for it and just vote the way they're voting just because you don't want to be an outlier. Don't be afraid to be an outlier. Vote however you want to vote. Take everything into consideration. Take the opinions of the community. Take the opinions of the staff you've spoken to. Take your own opinion. Take those all together. Form your own decision, and then vote accordingly. That's my opinion.
Thank you. Team. What is a board member's most important role?
So, board members' most important role is to have what the student's best interest at heart, and by doing that, you do take into consideration the concerns of your faculty, the concerns of your parents, the concerns of the community, and as a whole, you bring those back to the board and discuss them and see how you can make policy better, because the end goal is to have better students with better learning and better tools, and not your own opinion, because you are elected by the community for a specific job, and that's to take care of our kids.
Very good. All right. You're going to wrap this one up? All right. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight too, and I want to say thank you to the folks who asked me to do this. It was my pleasure to come in and assist this evening. I'll turn this over.
Thank you again for coming this evening. We want to thank all of our candidates for participating in the Claymont Board of Education Candidate Forum. We'd like to thank the Claymont Education Association, thanking our members who helped plan and organize this event, along with Nathan Kozart and the National Junior Honor Society for helping us this evening. And a special thank you to Mr. Chad Schumann for volunteering his time tonight to moderate, and to Nick Maple for live streaming on Mustang Pride Media. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your evening.